Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber. If you missed yesterday's video, I did a reaction to a tribute video that somebody made, basically like a compilation video for Spider-Man. And I'm not going to lie, it made me want to do a lot of content on Spider-Man specifically, but it also got my brain turning, which, by the way, subscribe and stay tuned because more Spidey content is yet to come. But it also got my Marvel brain churning, and it made me feel very nostalgic for, like, when I was a kid. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna put it out front. I'm just gonna be blunt. I'm more of a DC Comics kind of guy. I prefer DC heroes. I prefer, like, that mythological feel that DC has, and I just always gravitated towards it. I think it always had that better animated shows. I just think their comics are better in my opinion. They speak to me a lot more. That being said, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't genuinely love some of this Marvel stuff. And one of the characters that I feel like has been completely mishandled as of late, and I wish the inner child in me wishes that he would have a bit of a resurgence and be that superstar that I know he is. And yes, you clicked on the video, so you know I'm talking about the Incredible Hulk. To me, the Incredible Hulk is one of the cornerstones, one of the pillars of Marvel. You don't have Marvel Comics without the Hulk. He just is one of those characters that just became bigger than the brand. I think DC Comics has a lot of those characters that just feel very legendary and iconic, and the iconography for the Hulk is insane. The only other character that matches the Hulk is, honestly, Spider-Man, if we're talking in terms of iconography. Obviously, Wolverine is there, and now also knowing that there's going to be a Wolverine game around the corner with Insomniac, it made me also think again, which, by the way, I'm super excited about. Also, I cannot wait to finally start playing the Spider-Man Insomniac games. That's a video series for another day. But it made me want Hulk stuff. It made me want a Hulk game. Insomniac, I know you're doing Wolverine, and I think they're doing like a Venom game, but dude, is it too much to ask for a Hulk game? Like, the last Hulk game I played was probably like the Eric Bana video game. Anyways, it's like one of the early Hulk movies. You know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, that it had the giant dogs, the radioactive gamma dogs. Genuinely a really fun game for what it was, at least at the time. I just feel like Hulk is one of those characters that was unfortunately very mishandled in the MCU, and that affected, I guess, his presence in the greater Marvel universe as we know it, and which is a shame because I feel like the Hulk has one of the better, like, I just feel like there's a gold mine that's waiting to be picked at for Marvel, the MCU specifically, that they just haven't gotten to. And unfortunately, it just feels like they sort of had just pushed the Hulk to the side and included some bits and pieces of his stories here and there, like in Thor Ragnarok and like in a little bit of the Avengers movies, but nothing insane, nothing pivotal, nothing like quite marginal. If anything, the only way they sort of got him back into the fold was in the She-Hulk show, which they somehow managed to get out instead of a Hulk movie. I guess his son gets introduced there. The problem I have here with the way that they've handled Hulk in the MCU, they murdered my boy. They just did. Let's make Hulk great. Let's make Hulk smash again. I know, like, bro, there's just the way that they handle the character, and I understand there's some rights battles going on. If you don't know, you can look it up between Universal and Marvel. I think that's why Marvel can't really do a Hulk movie, and it's a whole thing. But regardless of all of that, I do feel like they could have handled the character way better. The plot line of having him and Natasha Romanoff have a relationship, like they just completely ignore Betty. It's kind of feels weird, and then it goes nowhere. It's only just to somehow control him when they need him. He's just a tool for the Avengers at that point, and it just feels kind of like what. And then Bruce Banner's just used there for an extra piece of brain that they can make seem intelligent, like he's doing something, but really we only care about the Hulk in those movies. Let's just be honest, okay? I mean, he gets bodied by Thanos. I understand that Thanos, would body the Hulk, but the way that he got bodied was a little shameful. It almost felt like a like a shame ritual they put the Hulk through. I was just like, what? What are they? Look at how they've massacred my boy. And on top of that, he just in Thor Ragnarok, he is used as like, oh, we have a Hulk type beat, and he is cool in that movie for what it is. But like they touch on Hulk story elements just to include him in it. It's not necessarily anything to improve his character. If anything, like his character didn't really develop much throughout the MCU. I think they tried to do it with Avengers Infinity Game and Infinity War, and Endgame, but it didn't quite it didn't quite hit because you don't get to see that dynamic between the Hulk and Bruce Banner as much as you would or I would like to see. That's what really sells the character for me because it's yes, he's a big brooding character that destroys everything. He's a beast, he's a monster. But then you have Bruce, who's just like this timid character who's more like what mellow, well-mannered, or at least trying to be mellow. And in that Jekyll and Hyde sort of dynamic is very interesting. It's something that you don't really see anywhere else, really, in a comic character. I think the Hulk also just I remember when he was just popular. You had kids like me with the Hulk hands at fairs. You know what I mean? Like the Hulk was the thing, dude. Like he was mad popular, at least back then when he at least had movies going on. But I feel like ever since the Avengers sort of like included him in the MCU, I feel like his popularity sort of like he got back shelved and people forgot how goated my dude is because the Hulk genuinely is They put the Red Hulk in Captain America Brave New World. I don't necessarily know how well handled that is. I heard it's not really that great, and that makes me sad because there's like I said, all these story elements that are really dope story elements for the Hulk are just being mismanaged and mishandled. And unfortunately, Marvel has this thing where they really are responsive to a lot of their media. So like if something's really popular, they're going to respond in kind with their comic books. And because the Hulk hasn't really had much of that, his comic books, although there is a new comic book for the Hulk that I am really interested in getting into and reading because I haven't really had anything to get interested into and start reading in a minute because like I said, the way that they mishandled him in the films, I feel like unfortunately affected the way that he was handled elsewhere. And it's unfortunate, man, because like I said, the Hulk to me is top 4 Marvel characters of all time. You have Spider-Man, you have the Hulk, you have Wolverine, and just X-Men in general. And then you could pick whatever character. Obviously, Captain America is probably arguably the most important Marvel character of all time. But the Hulk to me, when he had his moment, dog, like you know what I mean? It went like Spider-Man, the Hulk, and Wolverine. Those were the guys that were dominating media for Marvel for a long time. And then obviously the Avengers came and that sort of changed a lot of different things for these characters. And obviously they're trying to I mean, they brought Spidey back and he's had what, three movies, about to get a fourth. And then you have Wolverine was introduced back again or brought back in Deadpool versus Wolverine, or Deadpool and Wolverine. Well, I don't quite remember that. So he got brought back in that. The X-Men got retroactively brought back in that as well. And people love those characters. And I know for a fact people love the Hulk. And I'm sure you guys are just as upset as me at how they handle them. And I'm sure you guys would completely agree with me in saying let's make Hulk smash again. But anyways, you guys let me know your thoughts on the comment section down below. Like I said, it was the Insomniac game. They released a date for the new Wolverine game, which I'm super hyped for. But it made me wonder, like, dog, imagine Insomniac doing a Hulk game. Like, it would just be bonkers. It would be so sick. But yeah, let me know if you agree or disagree down in the comment section below. Let me know if you're a Hulk fan as well. Let me know if you're like me and love you some Hulk. Oh my goodness, Hulk fans, where are y'all at? Let's represent. And I wish he was well managed. I wish he had content that we could appreciate, just like, you know, Spidey and Wolverine have had. I just genuinely don't get it. But yeah, we'll see in the future what happens. You know, obviously maybe Universal will cut a deal, maybe they won't. Who knows? Maybe the Hulk will be stuck in limbo forever. Unfortunately, I hope that's not the case because I love the Hulk, like I said. But again, we shall wait and find out. Anyways, if you reached the video thus far, be sure to like and subscribe. All of those two things really do help this channel grow, and it helps me just feel more even inclined to do content in general. Yeah, tomorrow's video should be an interesting one. I'm almost basically picking right now at a magic hat to see what falls. So I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm just gonna keep it random. So be sure to stay tuned for tomorrow's video.